Welcome back to TM Nerdy. I am TM. Note, not Todd McFarlane, the other TM from Canada. Today I have a special guest. He took the time out of shooting from Witcher Season 2 and just decided to grace us with his appearance. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about Stefry Cavill. You know him as Missing Link. Let's bring him in right now.
Station.
How's
What's
it
going on,
going,
brother?
my man?
It's good. Good. Been a busy day. Had a little bit of running around to do, but I had to make sure I got here in time for this interview. Not interview. Sit down. I was looking
Sit
forward to
down.
this.
Two bros sitting
Yes, sir.
down because we are the Backlog Bros. We love to chat about everything comics, some pop culture.
Absolutely.
We love to do that. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself? I'm going to give you the floor.
Well, I'm a Missing Link. Stefan. I'm 32. Been a comic fan almost all my life. I started reading. I was like 4 or 5. It was like got into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first, and then it was like X-Men, the X-Men cartoon, and then like Power Rangers, and like by then I was just like hooked into like comics and stuff like that. That actually encouraged me to want to read better and stuff like that, because it's like I'd be looking at the pictures, and it's like, of course the artwork's sweet, but eventually I wanted to know like what was going on in the story, like why the pages would lead to like certain scenes and stuff. So I look words up in the dictionary to understand like what was going on and stuff like that. So comic books actually helped me read. So station the comic books.
That's awesome, man. So, like, you've been into comics since like you were just a wee little boy.
Yes, yeah. I took like a small, it's like I've taken breaks where I wasn't going to the comic store as much as usual, like every Wednesday, but even when I take breaks, it's like I'm still checking in or following like 1 or 2 titles. Like I'm not in heavily, but I'm still dabbling in the medium. But yeah.
All right. You said like you fell in love with the Ninja Turtles and the Power Rangers, and that's what got you into comics. Who was the
Yes.
first, like, what was the first Marvel or DC title that you actually fell in love with?
X-Men, easily. X-Men is my jam all day. I collected actually like that's the first comic I collected. It was like X-Men comics, and it's a big portion of my collection is X-Men stuff. I collected that until I was about 18, and when I graduated out of high school, Civil War was going on at the time. This big event that involved like everybody going on, and that made me check out other kind of Marvel titles. Like I had checked out other stuff before, but that really made me take a dive and like, oh, it's not just X-Men out here. Like there's a bunch of good other Marvel DC titles. So yeah, definitely X-Men. X-Men fan all day.
All right. Like, so you said the X-Men. Is there another team that or comic that is a close second for you?
Oh, that's hard. That is hard. Team wise, outside of comics, probably the Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. Well,
Yeah.
they're in the comics now, so I guess.
Well, yeah, so that counts. Yes.
All right. Well, who was the first writer that you fell in love with?
Grant Morrison. He it was his like I that's what made me kind of take note of like writers having certain like styles and stuff. It was like he was writing New X-Men at the time. Like it was just called X-Men, and he came onto the title and called it New X-Men, and like he took him out of the costumes. And at the time, see, I was like 13 when it came out, so that stuff was super cool to me. Like, that was like it blew my mind. I thought like it was a natural progression of what the X-Men were supposed to be about and stuff like that. So, but I know in hindsight, there's a lot of people that it rubbed the wrong way about. So I still love the run. I still think Grant Morrison's one of the greatest writers. I don't know if he's my favorite writer right now, but he's definitely like someone. He's the one that made me like the catalyst that made me start. Oh, follow these writers, because they usually write certain stories that you like and stuff like that.
So,
So
what are
yeah.
your top 5 stories from Grant Morrison?
New X-Men for sure. That's number one. I like We Three. That's a cool little story. It's kind of like Homeward Bound meets Weapon X. Like if like they experimented on animals and turned them into weapons.
Okay.
All Star Superman is pretty dope. Uh, The Invisibles. Yeah, it's hard. Flex Mentallo. We'll go with Flex Mentallo. His Flex
Flex
Mentallo.
Mentallo.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to artist. Who's your all-time favorite artist? And then the same question after that. What is your 5 top comics that he has illustrated, or she?
That's mm. I like Frank Quitely a lot. He's got a unique style. Like I usually dig anything he does. He did New X-Men with Grant Morrison, All Star Superman with Grant Morrison, We Three with Flex Mentallo. So we'll just go with Frank Quitely. He's pretty dope.
Yeah, well, I guess he did a lot of stuff with Grant Morrison, so
yeah,
they go hand in hand together, I guess.
Yeah, they complement each other well.
That's awesome, man. So, like, tell us a little bit about your journey as a collector. Like, has anything changed? Like you said, like you started as a Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. You moved on to being an X-Men fan and a Grant Morrison fan. How has your collecting evolved since you were a kid?
Well, it's just like first 15 years of my life, it was just like X-Men, X-Men, a few select titles here and there. Like I said, after high school, I started dabbling in other titles. Now I'd say like I'm reading a bunch of indies. I kind of would always kind of read indies here or there, like just if it were like, for instance, Grant Morrison or one of my favorite writers was writing an indie, I'd check it out. But now it's like I'll just kind of really check out the indie scene and take a chance on titles just because the concept or the plot synopsis sounds dope or something like that. I've never heard of the writer or the artist before, but if the plot synopsis sounds pretty interesting, I'll give it a chance. So I'd say I'm more open-minded now. Like at first it was just like the big two, DC, Marvel, superheroes, stuff like that. But I'm kind of leading away from that. Don't get me wrong, I still read a lot of Marvel, DC, but the titles I tend to pick up first and read the quickest nowadays are more indie, I'd say.
Yeah, the indies are just coming out like like ever since Image came, and then this pandemic has happened. A lot of indies have been popping up and like making incredible stories.
Oh, absolutely, I agree.
What is your favorite indie right now?
So many. I'm digging We Live a lot. Stillwater. Seven Secrets is dope. There's so many. Autumnal. I like Autumnal a lot. We'll go with those for now. I'm not gonna lie. I read a lot of indies. I'm surprised I can't.
You were like forgot the best one.
And Shadecraft. I absolutely. I thought we were gonna talk about a comic that personally changed my life. And when I heard about this comic, I thought people were lying. Like, I was like, there's no way a book can change your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought people were kind of bullshitting me. But
tell us what that is, brother.
That book is none other than Vampirella. I know you guys are thinking Vampirella, but I'm serious. It's not just a cover by. Like the story inside of it, gold. Like it's at every cover because they got every FOC. They've got like 17 different covers, and every cover is worth it because the story's that good. So it's like you can't go wrong, and that title's actually changed my life for the better. Vampirella.
You guys have heard it here first from none other than Stefry Cavill. Station. But I'm loving Shadecraft. I'm loving Stray Dogs.
Forgot that one. Excellent title.
Beast Wars, of course.
Oh, and, yes.
I recently read this one, and it's from Titan Comics, and it was really interesting. It was only $1.
What's that called?
Extraordinary. It was
okay.
Number 0. It was $1, so I picked it up. It's going to be an ongoing series, which will be cover price going forth, but this is just like a sneak peek.
I have to track that down.
So there is a lot of indies out there, but like your main focus, your main love is mostly Marvel, isn't it?
Yes, I I read a lot from each side, but I grew up like Marvel Zombie. Say what you say, like just that was my jam. Like it was like after X-Men, I started getting to like New Avengers in high school, and like that became like a big title. Like Brian Michael Bendis was killing it back then. His DC stuff, not so much lately. No shade, but yeah, I'd say 80% of my collection, 75% is mostly Marvel titles.
Yeah, and so what is some of the Marvel titles that you're just loving right now?
Mm. Thor is good. I know that's an easy capo. Venom, Daredevil's excellent. I'm enjoying Guardians of the Galaxy. I know a lot of people are kind of iffy on that one, but that's a solid one. Immortal Hulk is really good. Um, I've been enjoying Alien. I think Alien's been pretty good. Like I know some people don't like the artist, but I get why they chose him. Like he's it's like making the transition from like film to page easier because he's very photorealistic. So it's like it's that kind of looks like the you when you see it you recognize like the aesthetic, like the xenomorph right away, something like that.
Yeah, I think the only person that does not like the art in that book is Brandon. But other than that, I'm enjoying that book as well. Like I'm loving it. Like I just
Yeah,
got recently introduced to Aliens, decided to sit down and watch all of the movies. So like then they come out with a comic. I'm like, yeah, I'm all for that.
perfect timing. Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Which alien is your favorite?
it'd have to be Aliens.
Aliens, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
You
a
guys
great.
can skip Alien 3, like sorry, Robbie, but you can skip Alien 3. Um, but other than that, let's move on to like favorite movies growing up.
Okay.
Like, what
Growing
are
up.
some
All
of
right.
your favorite, like, let's say around the time that you started to like, that you got into comics and that with the Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles, what were some of the movies that you also got into around that time?
As a kid, I used to watch a lot of Aladdin, Lion King, Toy Story, Power Rangers, the movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I liked two a little bit better growing up as a kid than one, but I know one is a better movie. As I got older, I understood that. Uh, when I was a teenager, by then like Spider-Man was coming out, X-Men, X2. Actually, cool little story, not really, but it's like my birthday is July 15th and the first X-Men movie had came out July 14th. And when I was younger, I just was like, oh, that's so cool. Like my favorite superhero team ever comes out like the day before my birthday. That's like a sign. Like, thanks, universe. Like, but yeah, that's I was used to get really geeked about that.
Yeah, and the third X-Men movie is probably the by far the best, right?
I would have to, I would have to probably say the second or First Class or Days of Future Past. Logan, if you want to, even though I kind of put the Wolverine movies in their own category, Logan's up there as well.
Yeah, but we'll leave the X-Men movie talk for Herm's video. This
Yes,
Sunday we'll be talking about X-Men, so make sure to
yes.
tune in
Everyone be
after
there.
him and I talk about the Spawn Compendium. But
I
yeah,
look
I
forward
do
to that.
agree. Like I like those X-Men movies as well. Third one wasn't that great.
Both franchises, sadly.
But at that time too, like after the first movie, they came out with X-Men Evolution, which I really, really enjoyed that TV show.
Yes, yeah, that was a cool cartoon. That was cool because it kind of got like the younger side of the X-Men, like at the school, being students and stuff like that. That was a cool little series.
And it
Wolverine and the
was
X-Men. Did you see that one?
yes, Wolverine and the X-Men was also good. Like I don't understand why they only did one season. Was it only one season?
Yeah, that's because it came out like I think it came out like early 2009, and like by the end of 2009, Disney had bought Marvel, so it's like everything that was in production by some other studio or something got shut down. Sadly, that was Wolverine and the X-Men.
Yeah, but other than those shows, there was quite a bit of random animations and TV shows back in that day that
Oh yeah,
flowed good with it, like Jackie Chan Adventures,
yes, yeah,
Shaolin Showdown.
Yes, I think the studio that did that cartoon actually went on to do the Batman. If you ever seen that one, the Batman
I don't think I have. Like, I think I stopped after
animated series, the OG.
Batman Beyond.
Okay, okay, that classic though. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that was amazing, and hopefully, eventually, they'll be making a movie out of that. Batman Beyond, like, come on, they're
That would
running
be
out of
sick.
Batman ideas. That's
Yes.
why. That's why Spider-Man is kind of losing its lagging, and Miles Morales is getting up there because it's a new story, new character in that.
Right, something fresh.
So everybody that hates new characters in that but wants something new, stop complaining about new characters.
Right. Right.
So, but
I
other
agree.
than that, like, what kind of movies were you into?
I like a little bit of everything. Horror movies, action movies, indie movies, art house movies. Just depends on like my mood. Some stuff like that. Like 28 Days Later is one of my favorite movies. Uh, but then I also love something like Harold and Kumar. Go to White Castle. You know what I'm saying? Like it really depends. Like,
Yeah, it all
what
depends
about
on
you?
your mood. Like, I know me, like growing up and stuff. I grew up with like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, watching that on pay per
Classic.
view,
Yes,
and
sir.
then like learning about them and going back and finding their other movies and enjoying their movies.
Right.
So
Clerks and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, and then I was just talking to Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers about Rumblefish. Have you ever heard of Rumblefish?
I have. I don't think I've seen it, but I was looking it up last night, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta watch this." Like the cast sounds dope, to be honest. Like the cast, A
Yeah,
list all the way.
and it was the same year as Outsiders came out, which is done by the same writers. Like they're all books. S.E. Hinton
No
wrote
way.
The Outsiders, Rumblefish. That was then. This is now,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's why a lot of the same cast is in Rumblefish as in The
I did not
Outsiders.
know that.
Because you got Matt Dillon, you got
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke, you got Nicolas Cage, you got Lawrence Fishburne, you got like an A star class. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah. I,
there's
I
some
was gonna say the whole cast was like I was like, Jesus, man, like everybody in this is a banger.
yeah, and it's probably like one of their first movies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was the case with Outsiders. Like before that movie, Ralph Macchio, that was his first movie, I do believe. And then he went on to The Karate Kid.
No shit.
And
Oh,
same
sorry.
with no, you can, it's all right. Tom Hanks, or not Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was in The Outsiders as well.
Oh yeah, and okay, they went on to do with Risky Business and
Yeah, there's a lot of A-list, like A-list celebrities that were in those movies back in the day that made something bigger of themselves.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So, like,
Lawrence Fishburne.
give me like your top 10 favorite movies.
Ah, that is tough, man. That is tough. Mm. Let's just throw a few X-Men movies on there. We'll go like X2. Oh, that I don't even. I would see it. That I want to say that for a category like favorite comic book movies. Mm. We'll come back to that. Give me a little time to turn that over in the head.
All right, you think about that. We'll go on to like, let's talk about music. What are some of your types of music that you like to? Do you like to read and listen to music? Do you like to just listen to music in the background?
It
And or do you like to sing in the shower?
Yeah, it depends. Does yes to both, all of those sometimes. It depends what type. Sometimes I can find listening to music while reading a little distracting, but there's other times it helps me read. Uh, I think singing in the shower is always fun. It's like I feel like I deserve a record deal when I hear myself sing in the showers. So
Like you're just knocking it out of the park with those television and movie deals. So yeah, I don't think you need
you
to worry
true.
about
I
the
don't.
music deals.
Yeah, I'm busy with The Witcher right now, and I just I had a little. It was busy last year reshooting Snyder Cut. So
Yeah, which you were phenomenal in, by the way. I don't
thank you,
care what
thank you.
Jelani says.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Put a lot of work into it.
All right. Like what? So what kind of genre of music are you into?
All types. It really depends. Like I'll listen to like Daft Punk, but then listen to like NSYNC and
Have it that way, man.
Blink 182.
That's Backstreet Boys.
It's all right. It's all right. Same vein, but pop music. Uh, Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar. It depends like what mood I'm in. It really just depends. I listen to all music. Don't really. I'm not against country. As a younger kid, I was I don't listen to country. As an older person, I don't want to say that. I I don't listen to too much country, but I'm not opposed to hearing a good country song. But I don't think I've heard many good ones.
Yeah, I agree with that. From a guy that comes from like a country kind of area, I agree with that. I had to listen to it every morning. It'd be just blaring. So,
what about you?
Me, I listen to all kinds too. I do like some underground rap. I like Cryptic Wisdom for underground rap. I do like a lot of. I did grow up with the Backstreet Boys and all of them.
Pop music, yeah.
I think I was more Backstreet Boys than NSYNC.
I feel that as a kid, I was more hardcore NSYNC fan. I was like, yeah, they got all the best moves, better songs. But getting older, I was like, you know what? Backstreet Boys were a little smoother tracks than NSYNC. You know what I'm saying?
And then it's funny how you're like we're not too far in age. Like we're a year apart. So like we grew up in the kind of same era. Just you grew up in the States and I grew up in Canada. That place.
Right.
So we grew up with the same, but it was kind of funny because I remember growing up and listening to the Backstreet Boys and then did a 180 and here I am listening to Bloodhound Gang, Limp Bizkit, Korn, and I'm just like, what has changed? So were you listening to any of them like back in the day? Like what was your all-time favorite after the Backstreet Boys?
Song? What favorite song for the Backstreet Boys? You said?
No, like after the Backstreet Boys, like I said, like I had a flip of like what kind of genres I liked and what kind of music.
Okay.
Like, we had the Bloodhound Gang. We had a lot of pop music that kind of like changed. Like Mike was coming out with what was his name? Little Bow Wow. Little Bow Wow was coming out. All of these random artists were just like jumping.
Linkin Park. I liked Linkin Park around that time. They were pretty cool. Nelly. I was like 12, 13, guys, 14.
Yeah, that's come out of nowhere. The freaking Band-Aid on his it's like there's nothing under here, guys.
No, it's not a cut. It's just a fashion statement.
Yeah.
I've kind of always just like whatever just sound. Music is music. If it sounds good, it sounds good. I just will like a song if it's good. I don't not any type of certain specific music. It just it's all the mood. Yeah.
The Bad Touch though by Bloodhound Gang kind of came out of nowhere. It just became like a #1 hit. The funny thing is the lead singer of Bloodhound Gang wrote that for a girl and like invited her to the premiere video and she brought a date.
No.
Yeah, I was like, oh. So, but that's a weird song to like write for a girl anyway. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like we do on the Discovery Channel.
Get her now.
All right. Flipping back. You got your answer for your 10 top favorite movies? Or let's drop it down to 5 if you can't think of 10.
Five. All that's coming to me right now is like I like Vanilla Sky. That's a good one. I like that because it's Tom Cruise where he's not being an action star. He's actually showing he can act, and he still somehow manages to squeeze a running scene in. So unique, badass film. 28 Days Later. I like that because I think it's not just a very well made horror film, but it's a very well made film in general. Like just Danny Boyle is one of my favorite directors. He's fucking brilliant. It's got a great cast too. Cillian Murphy, Brendan Gleeson. I forget his name. I think it's like Christopher McElkson. I don't know, but he was the villain in Thor 2. Played the Dark Elf. Not the best role, or best movie, but he was in that. He was a Doctor Who, like back in like 2005. I'm just drawing a blank right now. Sorry, guys. I'll come back with it in the comments. Update.
Okay. Well, sticking with movies, let's talk about DC animated movies. Like, let's talk about like how they've changed. I know, like they've been out for a while, and like Under the Red Hood, one of the top best ones out there. Then they started with this connected animated movies throughout the years, which was great. Like, what were your top favorite ones out of those?
The connected, I'm not gonna lie, I fell off a little bit with the connected ones. After Flashpoint, I was kind of like hit or miss. I liked the last one. Was it War on Apocalypse for Apocalypse? Because it was so end of the world violent. It was just different. Gods and Monsters. It came out during the connected years, but I don't think it was part of that universe. It was like a one-off.
It was a standalone movie. It was like I think it was like just in a different universe. Like, what if that happened? Like, it's like a what if, I guess.
I think, that's a good way of looking at it. Look at it like that. I like that one a lot, though. I think that one was cool. The Titans, what was it? The Justice League versus the Titans?
Yeah, didn't they come out with the Titans one first?
Yeah, yep.
And then they came out with Teen Titans versus the Justice League.
Yeah,
and that was great too.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that. That had Damian Wayans as the Robin at that time.
Yep.
And then
one of my favorite
Robins. Batman Bad Blood was another great one.
Yeah, with Batwoman, right?
Yes. Okay. And that was kind of like her first introduction into the animated movies as well.
Yeah. She's a great character that sadly just got butchered in the TV show. Like, they chose the wrong person to play her to begin with. I know she's got a strong fan base. I'm not a fan, but that show is sadly.
Yeah.
Anyone watching this, if you've only ever seen the show, go read the comic. Completely different character.
Yeah. I've never read the comic book, but I'll probably agree with you because you've been reading since you were a kid. You know. Like, so what was the first like series that you like finished, like ongoing series, like that you knocked out of the park and read the complete series of? I know that's taking you back to when you were a kid. And I also have to tell you, besides Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers.
I'm trying to think of like a completed run. Because, there's like mini series and stuff like that. Like, what would be like? What do you mean, like completed run? Like a trade paperback?
Story arc, I guess, like a huge story arc. You're talking about Civil War, kind of something like that, like where it brings it all together.
I'd probably say when I was like 16, because I had Grant Morrison had started New X-Men when I was like 13. It was in 2001. It was right before I turned 13, and I had collected that all the way up until he left the title, which was like, I want to say like spring of 2004. Because I remember they had this shit called X-Men Reloaded where they were back in costumes and doing more superhero stuff. At the time, I loved it. Looking back on it, I realized what a downgrade it was. But it wasn't terrible, but it was a downgrade. I mean, we did get Astonishing X-Men out of that. I mean, Joss Whedon didn't used to be so hated. Grant Morrison's New X-Men. That was the first completed, like from start to finish, first issue. I had read to the last of his. That's still one of my favorite comic runs, X-Men runs to this day.
That's
So yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I thought you were frozen, man. I was like, oh
Doing a
shit,
bit.
is he frozen? Yeah, I was like, you're doing a bit.
All
But,
right, Bob. Do you have a question for Stefan? All right. What
oh,
is your favorite Daredevil run?
ooh, that's tough, man. It's so tough. Because Daredevil was one of those characters who's never really had a bad run. Even it's like his weaker runs, like the Charles Soule stuff from like what was it, like 2015, 16, still isn't really bad compared to like most comics coming out. Like Daredevil's never had too much bad, like a terrible run in my eyes. I didn't read all of Miller stuff. I know a lot of people love that. Um, I read some of the Bendis, some of the Brubaker. One of my favorite, I really like The Man of Fear by Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. I think that's a classic story. Uh, just you know, they're two creators who were at the top of the game when they did that. Like Frank Miller was still creatively in his prime. John Romita Jr.'s art was killing it. You know, it wasn't so blocky and clay looking. Like that's that. I'd say that's because it's only like 5 issues though. I'd say that's one of my favorite runs. Uh, Zdarsky's doing very well right now. Like it's funny because I had started collecting the issues when it came out, and just because it looked interesting, it sounded cool. Zdarsky had been killing it on like stuff like Star-Lord and Marvel 2-in-1, and I believe he started writing that before Daredevil. But you know, voice, and I was like, okay, I'll check this out. But I didn't really read it. I just started becoming a backlog bro. What is a backlog bro? Who knows? But I stopped collecting it around issue 10, and I started collecting it around issue 21 again. Back and collected all issues I missed in between, and I was like, damn, I should have been reading this. Shouldn't have put it on the backlog. But that's a pretty strong run. I like you know what? I haven't read the Kevin Smith stuff. Guys, don't shoot me, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm gonna go back and read that.
The only person that would tell you not to is Brandon. Oh,
Right, true.
shots fired again at Brandon. That's 2 in one video. But I haven't either. But Bob told me that it was a great run and that you should read it because it was
I
just
trust him, Bob.
phenomenal.
I believe it. Joe Quesada used to put out some fantastic work, man. Like he still does. He probably still does, you know. But he's, you know, like Jim Lee. They put out own cover art nowadays. But yeah, I'll make sure I read that. And tell you guys what I think.
So you're collecting. You're a collector of comics, but do you collect anything else like cards, or do you collect toys, figures, or anything like that?
I have like a lot of old toys just from like my childhood and stuff like that. I wouldn't say I collect them now. I'm slowly starting to get the bug because I see people with like, you know, newer figures that look badass or just like, you know, just for nostalgic purposes. I want to get like that old Toy Biz X-Men line. That's cool. Oh, yo, let's to get a close up of that. That's sweet.
Just let's get you to get some figures, back into it.
Okay.
Come on now.
Yeah, see, stuff like that does not help. I want to get the Ranger Slayer. Ranger Slayer looks pretty dope.
Yeah, you
Uh,
should like. There's a lot of figures for Power Rangers and that. Like, just look at Robbie. He
yeah,
has
yeah.
tons
Robert's
of,
got a great
and
collection.
like eventually he said he wanted to get rid of them, so hit him up and buy them off of him.
Might do that.
Because then not only are they from like one of the most awesome guys that does the best reviews, the best. I don't care who
On
you
you
are. Nobody does better reviews than Rock and
at
Robbie
all.
Phillips
We
over at
call
Pop
him
Culture Philosophers.
One Take Robbie because it's like it's like some cinematography stuff where it's like, you know, they do those long track shots where they don't take cuts. He does that with reviews, and it's like sometimes I'll be watching his videos. I'm like, did he edit that? Like, you know, no, it's just him, you know,
Yeah,
going
even
off
when he was live, you're just like,
yeah,
he's not live right now.
right, right.
But
Somehow the man's got a gift that he shares with us, and we appreciate that. Station
so
Robbie.
Station Robbie. Um, Also, guys, he does have an exclusive coming out. He just announced it last night on his review video. So guys, go check
Yo,
that out.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it'll be tomorrow night. Or no, tonight. Or last night. It was last night, Tuesday night, that he announced it on his review video. So go check that out after this video if you have not yet. But I am interested in, you said you had toys from like the past that you have like tucked away and stuff. I'm interested to know what those toys are.
Man, I named something. Probably I've got Beast Wars, Transformers. Even though I've got to dig out I was more Beast Wars, but I had a few Transformers. I said Power Rangers, X-Men, Spider-Man, Marvel toys, Batman, like the movie toys, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Beetleborgs, the Masked Rider. Yeah, Beetleborgs Metallic. Jeez, man. Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. They used to be like the little small, like with the the springy arms. Yeah, I had a lot of toys from the 90s, man.
Yeah, and so no cards that you've picked up throughout the years, or have you picked up a couple of packs of cards?
I used to have like a big collection of like those Marvel 95, 94 Flair cards. Like I might have had like some earlier 92, 93 ones. Sadly, I've lost those to time. I used to have a great collection of Pokemon cards. And I wish we would have known then that they were how much they were going to be worth. Because I had like a Charizard. I had so many Pokemon cards. Don't know what I did with most of them. Yeah, Pokemon, Digimon cards. I collected Digimon because everyone knows Digimon is better than Pokemon when it comes to the story mythology.
Just the evolutions were weird.
Yeah, it was like random. Like, what's a good one for him, guys? Ceramic. Okay, Agumon turning to War Ceramic Agumon Greymon. It was
Get one's foot is like coming out of his head, and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm supposed to be alive.
But yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. I love that show. So yeah, I collected a little bit of everything growing up, man. I've always tried to, I've always been a fan of pop culture, just all aspects of it. Sci-fi, horror, anime, video games, comic books, manga, whatever is cool.
Speaking of manga, since we are pop culture philosophers and we cover everything pop culture, let's talk about anime.
Okay.
Because I know I've watched a little bit of anime growing up, and I know you have as well. So why don't you let us know what kind of anime that you were into?
Growing up, of course, everyone loved Dragon Ball Z. I watched a little bit of Dragon Ball before that. Pokemon, Digimon, Escaflowne. But it was like 2001. It was like when Adult Swim came on and they showed Cowboy Bebop. That's when I got blown away. Like, that's still my favorite anime to this day, Cowboy Bebop. One of the greatest soundtracks for a show ever. Definitely for an anime. I know a lot of people like Samurai Champloo. They are made by the same creator, but I guess I feel like, if you didn't have Bebop, you wouldn't have Champloo type of stuff. So it's like, any success Champloo has is owed to its precursor in Bebop. They're both strong shows. They're both excellent shows. I got to choose my wording carefully. I don't want to make them sound like, oh, don't give that one. One of them isn't worth your time, because they're both worth your time. They're both worth it. But definitely Cowboy Bebop is amazing. I'm drawing a blank. But it's like, Afro Samurai was dope. That was older. Lately, what I've been watching, this one called Megalobox. It's pretty dope. It's like futuristic boxing type of stuff. They got like these guns on their arms that help them punch harder, faster type stuff. This one called Fire Force, and I'm not deep into them. I'm just they're hit or miss. Like, I'll watch them once in a while or something like that. Seven Deadly Sins. I'm starting to get into.
That's a really
Um,
good one. I like.
okay, though. I've
I
heard good
don't.
things about that.
Yeah, I don't really watch anime to this day. Like, but Seven Deadly Sins is one that I really enjoy right now.
Yeah, that's I heard good things about that, and that's why I was like, all right, let me give this one a chance. The X-Men anime on Netflix. It's funny. I saw it years ago, but didn't. I had recorded it on DVR because it came on G4. This is like 10 years ago, actually, like in 2011. Jeez. But I never watched it, so I'm watching it on Netflix. That's been pretty cool so far. The X-Men anime.
I did
Um,
enjoy it. I just don't like Beast. Kind of looks weird to me.
yeah, he had an evolution. You're talking about with the lion form. Yeah, that actually was a result of Grant Morrison's new X-Men. So you might not like Grant Morrison's new X-Men, but which one? This one called Inuyashiki. It's about like this. Uh, it was subtitled, and I'm kind of like hit or miss. Like I used to be not against. Like I'm lazy now. I admit it, folks. I'm old. I'm getting older. I'm lazy. But it's like if it's like subtitles, I'll be like, I'll come back to it. But I happened to watch this one with subtitles, and it was pretty badass. It was about this boy that was kind of like, I don't say serial killer, but he did lacked emotions, right? Just because he was kind of picked on, and he just was like, what do they call that? Narcissist. He's a narcissist. Uh, he's into himself, but him and this old man. This old man was always getting shit on in his life. Like his own family didn't respect him at his job. They didn't respect him, his bosses, coworkers. But he just got a good heart, He's always still trying to do the right thing. And like one day they're in a park and this spaceship just lands on both of them and kills them, right? And so these aliens are like super advanced. So they're like, what did we just land on? They're like two. They use some other word, but like two humans. And so they're like, all right, rebuild their bodies. And like, well, we don't have any more artificial bodies. He's like, well, use the prototype for the, some weather or some shit like that. Like, we're not supposed to do that. He's like, just do what I say. Yada, yada, yada. And so, they wake up, they look like themselves, same as before, but like they've been turned into like a living weapon. Like, their head, they can point their hand at something and like opens up and transforms into like a gun, jetpacks come out of their back and stuff like that. It's like, so they're a machine, a living weapon, but they look like themselves. And so they wake up, go home, go their separate ways. This is before they realize they have powers. And like, over the course of the series, like the kid just starts to, he can like, I don't know what the thing is. If he can see you, he can like kill you or hurt you. Like he would point his finger at someone and be like, bang. And wherever, you wouldn't see anything, but it's like he would fire a bullet with the way it would hit someone. Like he just point his finger like bang, and somehow it shoot them. So he was like on a computer screen, like doing this to people. And so, I'm going on a long tangent, but long story short, the old dude, he ends up being like a hero, and they battle it out, and he saves mankind. And there's like this big asteroid coming to hit the Earth, and so they team up together to destroy the asteroid. And like the kid redeems after going on he was pretty violent. He was massacring a lot of people, but I guess he didn't redeem himself, but he helped destroy the asteroid. And that was the end of the series. But it was pretty cool. It was only like 12 episodes, but yeah.
I enjoyed anything Johnny Young Bosch has been in. He's an amazing voice actor in that. He's also a martial artist and was the second Black Power Ranger.
I didn't know he was such an accomplished martial artist. Like I was like, okay, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, there was only a few of them that were actually martial artists. Like Billy was not. Billy had no.
I can imagine.
But yeah, anything he did, like I did like Trigun, Vash the Stampede, like
yes, that was badass.
Another one was Bleach. He's also done a lot of video games. Like I'm not sure which ones, but
did Johnny voice Vash?
The Vash the Stampede, yes.
No way.
Yes, he did that.
Wow, that's gotten.
Another good one is Wolf's Reign. I think that's what it's called. And yeah, I just kind of followed him because I just enjoyed his voice acting and like what kind of like he could bring so much emotion, so much anger, so much whatever he needed through his voice for those characters, which I loved.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's. I was just gonna say. You just blew my mind with him telling me that he voiced Vash. Now I'm gonna go back and watch it in an entire new light and new respect for it. That's dope. That's cool. Because he was badass as Adam too.
Yeah, he voices a lot of anime right now, like because he's used to it. Whenever he started, he's from. I think he said he was from Texas. He started. He said he was going to be on the Power Rangers. That was his first thing he ever did was the Power Rangers. And
Okay.
he had to dub a lot because in the mask, right? Well, he
Right.
sometimes like he wasn't wearing the mask, but like he'd have to say the voice and stuff and pretend he was in there.
Oh, to make it because it probably
Yeah,
came
so
out
he,
muffled when they're yeah.
well, no, because the Power
Oh,
Rangers
they
were
used cut footage from Japan and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
everything was in a recording studio for half of the scenes that they did.
Right. Right.
So like he learned how to do dubbing from that. Plus, he was a martial artist, so he was able to do
That's
that as well.
dope. Yeah. Respect Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah, so
Like
you're
him.
definitely gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll do that tonight.
All right, so
After
what kind of channels are you watching? Like, I know a lot of the Bad Batch. Why we are the PCP Army Bad Batch is because we all met on
yeah.
Robbie's channel. We
Yeah.
all met through Robbie's channel. It was, and
Great.
we
One of the
all just
greatest.
like grew from there and messaged each other on Instagram and just became friends. So
Yeah.
that's why we love Robbie in that because we all like without Robbie we wouldn't be here.
He's a
We
catalyst.
wouldn't be
Yes.
all
That's
together
yeah.
talking. So thank you,
Yeah.
Robbie, for bringing us all
Station.
together.
Yeah. Station Robbie again. Yeah.
So what
But
other channels are you watching besides Robbie?
besides, I was gonna say we know I'm watching Robbie. I watch you a lot. You know, believe it or not.
You kiss ass.
uh, Fable's redoing his page right now, but when he's putting out some great music, man, and he had a bunch of he's redoing a lot of songs and coming up with new ideas for songs. So his page right now only has a few samples, but he's got a lot of material, man. Like he's a great musician. A lot of our crew use his music, for their intros and outros and stuff. So we need you to put out more stuff quicker, man. But whenever he puts stuff out, I'm on it like that. Herm, Herm's got a excellent show. Herm's, uh, I mean, what else should I say? I mean, like, if you know Herm, you know how amazing Herm is, bro. Like, his channel is the greatest. He puts out reviews, and I like Herm's review style is because he's never like talks down on a title. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't ever say anything sucks or anything like that. He's just like, if he's not feeling, he's like, that one really wasn't for me. But if you're a fan of that, you might like it. Or if you like this, go check it out. So he's like still encouraging it if he doesn't like it. So that's cool.
He treats comics like people, which is funny because he's just like, oh, I don't want to drop it because then I feel bad. Like he treats it like an actual person.
Yeah, he's respectful to the fullest, man. Here's the best. Manny, Tomorrow Cinema over at Tomorrow Cinema. Manny's just got the most electric personality, man. And, he's he likes to bring people together. He knows how to make people feel comfortable on screen, and keep the conversation going.
He's another catalyst because he kind of like inspired us, pushed us for
yeah.
like those who except for her, maybe her as well, I'm not sure, but I know for me, I know for Nick, I know for a lot of us, we started channels
Our
because
first
of
stream was
Tomorrow Cinema.
on Manny's stream. Manny puts out great quick reviews too. That he knows how to like he articulates well. He's like I was gonna say Mini Robbie, but that's a compliment and not a compliment at the same time because he's his own man. But I was gonna say he's articulate like Robbie in that vein. So I was gonna say he knows how to describe stuff in detail very well. Puts out great reviews for movies too. Just pop culture in general. He's got a great figure collection, man. Man, it's like collections like his Herms, Robbies, or Fables are like, man, bro, that's the stuff that makes me kind of want to get back into getting figures and stuff like that. Yours too, because I see you posting stuff, man, with your Spawn figures. You got a nice collection. Nick,
I still got like 6 to unpack.
oh, do you really? Give me just show me the boxes and in the back chat, and you don't gotta open them. But Nick's got a great channel, man. He's very informative, descriptive. I like the idea that he's approaching it from a newcomer's perspective. Because it can be an intimidating hobby to dive into, like very intimidating. And so it's like there's that. That channel is very, very helpful. Even if you're not a new reader, you've been reading for a long time, like it's still a great channel to check out. Like he's got some great ideas. Who else watched when Taki puts stuff out? We need Taki to put out more stuff. But Taki has some great opinions and thoughts on like how the business is ran, how certain titles coming out. Besides that, I like
we could be going.
Comics will break your heart.
Yeah, we could be going here all night with this. I shouldn't have asked it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let's just say this, man. I shouldn't even be paying for like Hulu or Amazon or Netflix anymore because I don't have the time to watch it. I watch YouTube all the time.
That's what we do. We love this community. We love everyone in it. And we've given up TV because we just love you guys so much.
Absolutely.
We'd rather watch you guys all day than what's on TV.
But
one last question before we wrap up. I know you watch Dylan's horror show, and we haven't hit.
Yes, I was
what
just.
Are your all-time favorite horror films or horror TV shows?
Guys, we're gonna blame this on the spotlight jitters because any other time I can name them away, but I'm just drawing a blank right now. 28 Days Later, Dawn of the Dead, the original. I do like the Zack Snyder remake too. We're gonna have to do a part 2 or something, guys, because I'm just drawing a blank right now. I'm sorry. I was gonna say Dylan's got a great horror show.
You can let us know on Big Herb's channel this Sunday night.
Gotcha.
And people who watch my channel also watch his, I think. But if you're not, sub out to Big Herb. Go do it right now.
Right now, it's worth it. He's worth it. Absolutely. Let me shout out Brother Joe, E, and Bobby real quick. Backlog Bros, rest of the Backlog Bros. Go check out Bobby's Instagram. Does some amazing artwork. Just very original pieces. Like he's just phenomenal. I forgot. I'm sorry, Dylan, my bro. Dylan, best horror show on YouTube, on the YouTubes, man. Like he's like a walking encyclopedia of horror, and it's like anything you have a question about why it's like something set up that way, like why the script. He knows how to explain that to you in like layman's terms. So Dylan's got a great horror show. What is it? Every Saturday, Dylan's horror show with Rock and Robbie.
Yes.
Trav? Okay, yeah. Make sure you guys check that out. Fantastic channel. But I appreciate you having me on, Trav. This has been cool. Hopefully it wasn't that bad of a sit down for you.
So final thoughts before I start to give out the shout out for Whiplash Wednesdays.
No, I really enjoy this community. Comic books are amazing, and it's like I was gonna say it sucks, but it's like I'm here now, so that's what counts. It's like that took me so long to find this community because I love comics. I just never really had anyone to share it with, so this has been really cool last year to have so many people to talk comics about with, and see different things and hear different stuff like that. I plan on I'm interested in making a content channel right now, but it's just like it's very overwhelming. Like I see the work you guys put in sometimes. I'm like, how do you guys do it? It's like but I plan on doing something in the future. Right now, you can check out our Instagram page if you want. It's @Lynk_comics at Instagram. I just post like cool comics. I think like covers cool. Cool little stories, stuff like that. Just stuff that's cool. But yeah,
That's awesome. The
thank
link
you.
to his Instagram is down below. Plus, all those channels that he shouted out are going to be in the description down below. Guys, this is Whiplash Wednesdays, so make sure to check out Big Herm Collectibles and Sam Sankled Web chopping up about.
Sam,
I'm not sure what they're doing this week, but whatever they're doing, it's always going to be awesome hearing two huge
absolutely.
Marvel fans chop it up about Marvel titles. Then after that, check out Nick Comic Culture's channel where he'll be doing his weekly pull list video. And then after that, join me, Chamorro Cinema, and the rest of the Bad Batch as we sit down with not one, not two, but three creators plus Marcus, the head of Second Sight Publishing. That's right.
Wow.
We got an A-list group with us. As we've always said, we are top supporters of Second Sight Publishing. The Bad Batch backs them 100%. Loving their books that they've been putting out. I've read
Absolutely.
The Edge. I have read Blowtorch 1 and
Chess.
2. I'm waiting for Chess, but that's just going to blow me out of the water as well.
Right.
I'm waiting to read Duplicant and the Book of
Mm.
Liaxia.
Yeah.
Plus, there's another book coming out. I'm not sure of the title, but make sure to go check out Robbie's
Uh,
review video last night
for
and
that
see
title.
what that is. All right,
I'm
guys,
excited.
we're going to get up on out of here. Enjoy the rest of your new comic book day. Stay nerdy, my friends, and station.